Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to License to View.
What's going on?
We're back after a missing week. I'm
Yep.
Jason. That's Zach. Zach, what's going on, bro?
Jason, I have a confession to make.
What's up?
So, I've gotten into a dark period in my life.
Okay.
Have you heard of the newest sensation sweeping the YouTube web pages?
It depends on what are you talking about?
I've been getting into VTubers.
What the fuck's a VTuber?
VTubers are the new shit, dude.
I've never even heard of this. I feel like an old
You've
man.
never heard of VTubers? Oh
Like,
my god, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. All right.
what the fuck's a VTuber?
So VTuber is basically a YouTuber that uses that. I'm assuming they have like a face capture rig or something like that. I've never seen like the
Uh,
actual like technology behind it, but they basically have an anime avatar and they basically do like streams and stuff like that. And it's mostly girls. I mean, the ones I watch are mostly girls, and they're the cutest fucking thing in the fucking world, and I'm fucking obsessed with them. They're all Japanese, so I have to watch clips of them that have been like translated.
hold on. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
So it's a person
it's a person
wearing a mask,
essentially.
like a digital anime mask.
Yes, and they're
So
idols.
so the person's body is real,
Yes,
but then the
it's a real person.
face is like an anime.
Yeah, hold on, I'll show you. Here. Here's the Hololive girls. These are girls that I watch.
Okay.
I don't know. Give me a second. I gotta be honest. I've been into them for a couple weeks, but I've been trying to like build up the courage to be able to say this. It's
Okay.
taken a lot out of me. Um, but I'm a Hololive addict.
Okay. Let's load it up now. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see what we're talking about here.
These are most of the main girls that I watch,
Oh,
and it's good art.
my thing's taking forever.
Is it really? Oh damn.
Let me try. Oh my gosh! Come on, Chrome.
This doesn't have a main girl in
Okay,
it.
here we go. Chrome. It's finally loading. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is anime.
Yeah, it's anime as fuck, dude.
This is literally an anime. So what are you talking about? These are people.
I mean,
What are you talking about? These are people. Like, this is anime.
they're anime people.
No, I don't know. These this is a cartoon.
No, they're anime. They're anime people.
You're telling me the pictures that I'm looking at on Google are actually people. This is anime.
Yeah, this is anime as fuck.
No. Not anime. Not the description anime as fuck. This is an anime.
Oh no, it's not an actual anime. They're like Twitch streamers.
Zach, this is an anime.
No. You're misrepresenting. Hold on. All right, now you hold on. Now you listen to this clip and you tell me this isn't the cutest fucking thing in the world. Hold on, give me
Okay.
a second.
So you sent me a picture.
Um,
Hold on. You sent me a picture of a
yeah,
video of like a roster sheet, like
yes,
a
it's a roster
character
sheet.
selection screen
Yes,
from
character selection
a video
screen
game, from a fighting
of
game.
some of the best girls. Yes,
Okay, Zach, these are cartoons.
they are anime women, and I'm fucking obsessed with them.
Yes, they're anime women, but they're not real. These are drawings.
No, they're real women. They're wearing masks.
I don't understand.
It's like a virtual mask.
I
Think of it
don't.
as like it's like think of it in the idol culture in Japan in general. Like the way that the culture works in general is that as you're an idol in Japan, you assume a character. All of these girls have a specific character that they assume when they're doing their
So
streaming and
hold on.
whatnot.
Hold on. You. Okay, hold on. You like the voice actor, or you're talking about this is a real person?
I mean, I like their personalities.
Okay, so okay, hold on.
I'm trying to figure out what you're like stuck on right now.
Okay, so when you talk about you watch clips, you're
Yes,
watching an anime.
I'm watching clips of their streams that have been translated.
So okay, hold on. Are they mocapping this person's like what? Explain what the stream is. Explain it to me.
So I mean, they're basically just Twitch streamers. Like a lot of them sit there, they play games. Some of them they like get
Okay.
together and do like collab streams and whatnot. And I think a lot of times they just do. I'm assuming it's face capture to like mocap like the here. I'll show you like a clip here.
So are they like
I'll show
they're
you what it
play?
looks like in
Yeah,
motion.
show me so I see because I don't understand. To me, this is just
Okay.
you're showing me a picture of like upcoming anime season, and it's a
Okay, hold
bunch of
on.
anime girls.
Give me a second. Let me. So this is what most of their streams look like, and then they also have like 3D body debuts where they can actually, and they get together a lot and they collab and they like do a bunch of stuff. But like, I mean, it's basically looks like this where it's like, I mean, they're just streaming and they've got the mocap for like the face and you can see some shoulder movements and whatnot, and then
Okay.
for the most part, they're just like, streaming and like having a fun time. And they're like super cute personalities. And I just love them. I love them to death.
Okay.
Also, like a lot of them are like decent at games. Some of them are really bad, but some of them are like really decent. Like the clip I just showed you is like from one of their like gamer divisions. So like her big thing is that she just like plays. She's just basically a Twitch streamer. Like she just plays games on Twitch all the time. And I think, well, I don't know. I actually don't think they use Twitch. I think they all stream through YouTube. But I mean, she basically is just like a Twitch streamer. Like she hangs out, she plays games, and she like talks with the chat. And it's just like, it's super cute and wholesome. And it's also she's my favorite. This is my cute. This is my cute doggo. I love her. She's fantastic. And I'm also obsessed. When I tell you that she like made like a mini song and somebody made an hour long like endless loop of it, and when I tell you that I listen to that at work for the past week, at least an hour every week, tell me I listen to this for an hour every week during work.
All right, hold on.
And it gives me life and strength.
Okay, I'm loading this song up. Okay, it's muted. Okay,
It's
why
gonna be
can't I
pretty
mute it?
loud. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But yeah, so that's my confession. I'm glad I got
I
this off my
so I,
chest. I feel like an entire weight has been lifted off my
I
shoulder.
I'm glad that you came to me with this
I did.
because there has to be someone in some person's life that can come to them and maybe bring them back down to reality.
I don't know, man.
And, and I'm not.
I'm pretty high up there. The only thing
and,
that
I,
the only threshold I haven't crossed yet is that I haven't paid the money.
and I'm not going to sit there and say you cannot enjoy this. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that, Zach, because
Okay.
I'm trying to be a better person than I used to be.
I appreciate that.
But I will say this, and I'm not going to try to divulge too much of your personal life on the podcast,
Okay.
but you went on a real life date recently,
I did.
and that was two steps forward.
That was.
And this, what you're talking about right now, is five steps backwards.
I don't know,
Because
man. I might want to be
like,
stuck in this hole.
like if you were like Jason, I fell down the Twitch thought, like, I get it, dude. I get it. They're real girls. It's Twitch. That's the game. Like if you're like, hey, I'm watching a bunch of Pokemon videos, I'd be like, I got it, dude. Like
Yeah,
you're
but I
in
don't
it.
know. That doesn't get me. I don't know. I think you know what the thing is about those that
Okay,
don't get me is that
lay it on
I
me.
know that they're doing it because they know that they have sex appeal, and that
Right.
turns me off because it's just like you're fake. You're doing it because you have boobs, and I don't think that that's particularly attractive at all. These
Right.
girls I enjoy because they have great personalities and they do funny stuff, and I laugh at their
But
stuff,
okay,
and I
hold on,
enjoy them
hold on,
like as people.
real quick.
Yes.
Th- and this can get as deep as you want it to be, or not as deep as all
Okay.
as you want it to be. You keep calling them girls,
They are girls.
but they're from what you understand.
Okay.
It could be another voice actor guy or whatever
Well, there is
playing
one.
the
Well, I
character.
mean, they're pretty transparent with that because
But
there is one
they're
that like
playing a
has.
character.
Yeah.
But this is the equivalent of that guy from like 10 years ago in Japan who married like the fucking what's it called?
Well, I'm not saying
The,
I'm trying to be in a relationship with these
no,
girls.
no, but there was that guy in Japan who like legally married the fucking idol master like
Yeah, I
game
do remember that.
character.
Yeah, I do remember
Like
that.
what and this is not this is a bigger like reflection on on Japan's men
Yeah, that's true.
did anything. And I'm no psychologist or anything like that, but like the idea that like it's all fun. I
Yeah.
get it. I understand it. I don't know how you came across this. How'd you come across this?
I think I came across. Well, I mean, I'd seen a couple of things on Twitter because I mean they're big on Twitter. Like all of them are on Twitter, and like they're memeable. Like they're super memeable.
Right.
First of all, because I mean it's like because especially there's a couple of them are like that are super into memes and like they have their own Reddit and stuff like that, and like so memes pop out, and so I've seen them all the time. And then I don't know what was happening one day, but I just like saw this YouTuber called Coefficient, who's like I'd never heard of him before, but he does like fighting game stuff a lot of the times. But then all of a sudden he had one video called Diary of a Simpficient, which is just him going down the VTuber hole.
Right.
And 6 videos later, I've been watching his videos every week or whenever they come out, and I'm down the hole with him. So I think it's his fault.
I get that. I get it. I can't say I understand the idea of the actual like I don't understand that.
Okay.
I think I understand because you're enjoying it because it's the character. I think.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing as why you would watch a regular Twitch streamer, like the personality. So I understand that. It's just hard for me to get past the idea that it's an anime character. Like, just have the person get on stream. Is like I don't understand that part.
Yeah, but then you can't have like a dog girl or like a bunny girl or like a half dragon girl.
I don't need that.
Oh no, it's integral to their characters, and I love it.
This is the same thing.
You got a bunny girl who always says "Pecco" at the end of every sentence. She's got this Naruto believe it shit.
I just bought this Naruto.
Speaking
shirt.
of, I see your fucking Naruto fig in the background, so
Yeah.
Bless up.
I just bought this Naruto shirt from Walmart. Hear that for example. I got this from Walmart.
That's how mainstream Naruto is, yeah.
Right. Well, just in general, Walmart's stepping up their game for
that's
pop culture. But there's a clear line in the sand. And we talked about this on the podcast before.
Yeah.
And there's a clear line in the sand between people like me, who I think are very much like the people who on YouTube, like on like anime or manga YouTube, who really only like 5 anime.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball, Naruto, like shonen shit, like Shonen Jump. That's like me.
Yeah.
I'm
One Punch Man, My Hero, like basic.
Yeah, I've never seen One Punch Man, but exactly that.
I feel like you would like One Punch Man. I'm surprised you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I have nothing against it. Just haven't watched it.
Yeah.
That level of anime fan, and then there's that line in the sand, which is where you get inching closer to it, and that line is like
slice of life.
Not even that, but I think it's the thing where you can love a character, right? Like there are characters in the anime. I don't really have a waifu. I've never really had one.
Yeah.
I don't care. There are definitely female characters that I enjoy more.
Yeah, I also think shonen is like not conducive to having waifus.
Exactly. So. It's a personality. I like buff dudes, which says a lot about me. I like the buff dudes fighting each other, shooting laser beams, punching rocks.
Yeah.
That's I like that, right? The simple part of my brain that likes to watch explosions.
Yeah. Monkey brain, as Crash Chase would say.
It also directly correlates to why I like Commando and fucking Time Cop and like shit like it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But that line in the sand is where our other friends and you're there clearly.
Yeah.
Where it's like you got the enjoyment of like harem anime or like ecchi stuff where like you get closer, you get more involved emotionally in the stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine, obviously. But there's the point where you step over that line, which is the body pillows and shit like that. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's a level that I personally
It's a different level for sure.
It's a different level. And I'm not saying you're over that level, but I'm saying if your dad walked in on you watching you watch an anime girl on YouTube, I think he might be like, Zach, we should watch some baseball.
My dad would probably say football.
We should watch some football. But
we should watch some sports, yeah.
We should watch some sports, and I think your brothers might want to beat you up.
Maybe, but my brother watches Twitch streamers all the time, and he can't even have a functioning life. So I'd beat him up before he beat me. That's true. Also, with the power of the waifus on my side, nobody can fuck with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Anime on my side, yeah. Well, like I said, Zach, I'm not gonna bash you for it because that's your personal choice,
Yeah.
and I get it because there's definitely like, you know, I never really followed an anime character that I like that, but I mean, it's the same thing as why I would watch a Twitch streamer. I
Yeah.
guess it's a personality type. I get that.
I mean, I consider it. I mean, honestly, in a way that you would understand, it'd be like, um, I think the easiest way for you to understand it is that basically it would be like, if a wrestler was like doing streams and stuff and like was didn't break kayfabe and like that was just their character as like doing like,
Yeah.
like talking to their fans and
Well,
stuff like that, and
I think the
stuff like that all the time.
even easier. It's Doctor Disrespect,
Yeah.
just not anime.
Hmm.
I think that's the weird thing. I think that's a girl and that's anime. I think that's the extra like
Fair enough.
that adds the extra like. I think not even to me, but I think to people,
Yeah.
like to Western guys,
Yeah.
Western people. Like I think if you told a girl you went on a date with, like, yeah, what do you do in your free time? Oh,
I watch VTubers.
I watch VTubers. What's a VTuber? Okay, well, it's a person,
Yeah.
not cosplaying, but like it's a person digitally.
Yeah.
It's Hatsune Miku, but in a live stream.
Yeah.
Uh, hey, to each their own, Zach.
I see where the problems could show up, but I'm willing
Is
to.
the hey? It's 2020,
That's true.
and
2020
clearly,
year of the VTubers, man. I mean, they
and
really only have come up in like the past like year, honestly. I feel like.
well, and clearly you're not wrong or you're not in the wrong or whatever because other people enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just think it's weird,
It's fair.
but that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because it's 2020.
Yeah.
Now, if it was like 2002,
Well, yeah. It's a whole other.
and this technology existed, you might be on a really dark side of 4chan or
Yeah.
some random ass blog or something.
Yeah.
But besides watching anime tubers,
Yes.
or have whatever VTubers,
VTubers.
V Trigger tubers,
V Trigger.
have you been doing anything else, or have they consumed all of your free time?
I've been doing a couple other things. So the big thing. Let's get this out of the way. I watched
Okay.
Tenet. I will attempt to try to explain the basic synopsis of this movie.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so from what I understood, and this is only from one viewing, um, you have John David Washington. He's like a secret agent. Beginning of the show, he's like a CIA agent and whatnot. Basically, he gets made in like I don't know if you ever saw the prologue that they showed in IMAX. I think it was before.
No, I haven't seen.
Oh, it was before Star Wars. That's what it was. Because it was like the only reason that I watched Star Wars in IMAX was because they were playing the Tenet preview. I think.
Was it?
Maybe it was
only,
something else.
That was only in IMAX.
Yeah. Well.
No, I haven't seen it then. I didn't see Star Wars in IMAX.
I know whatever it was. I saw it in IMAX, and the only reason I saw it in IMAX was because they were like, "Oh yeah, the Tenet prologue will play only before an IMAX showing," and I was like, "All right, fuck it." So, I think it was Star Wars because that would be the thing that would get most people in theaters. But so after he does that, there's there's basically a mission. He gets made, and then he ends up becoming like, basically a ghost agent or whatever. Like he basically dies for a certain extent, and he goes on this secret mission where somehow that I still don't really understand, something to do with like nuclear radiation and the way that like radiation works on certain metals, something like that. There's a way that like time travel is possible, but also objects can travel backwards in time.
Okay.
So that goes with like the whole like he's catching a bullet type of thing, because it's not him shooting the bullet, it's the bullet going back into the gun, because the bullet essentially came from the future. Even though it's there in the present, it doesn't make. It's time travel stuff, so if you think about the rules too much, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But basically, by going about trying to track down, these bullets from the future or whatever, he's basically trying to stop the end of the world by this villain who wants to make the future and the past, like, unmesh from each other, and somehow that will, like, remake all of time, and, like, basically, like, it's like Evangelion almost.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, where it's just like he's trying to like remake all of like the past and the present, at the same time.
Because of bullets.
because of time travel. Bullets are
Okay.
just like a part of it, but it's really
Okay.
about like using time travel, and like the basic way that it goes is that it's not necessarily time travel in the way that it's like you take a time machine and you're there. The way that it works is that basically you go into like a backwards world. And so
Uh-huh.
you're basically, instead of going forwards through time, you basically go backwards through time. And so that's kind of how you time travel.
Okay.
Um, but also, when you're moving backwards through time, you have to deal with basically the reverse physics of everything. So
Uh-huh.
instead of explosions burning you, explosions cover you in ice and drive you into hypothermia.
Okay.
Um,
Spoiler alert, real quick. Spoiler
yeah,
alert. Does he save the universe?
he does save the universe.
Does he die?
No, it's basically an origin story because it ends up in the end you figure out that like this is the origin story of him like creating this entire like agency that like tries to battle against like world-ending threats by using this like time travel technology. And so there's a bunch of characters that show up that actually know him in the future,
Uh-huh.
like when he's made this agency, but he hasn't done that yet. I don't know. It gets very
So
convoluted. Time
is
stuff gets
he?
very convoluted and
How
confusing.
do they activate time travel? Is it a device?
So it's basically the way that it looks like in the thing is that there's like a tunnel that you can go through almost. It's some sort of like weird turnstile that like
Uh-huh.
basically I don't know. It's the cinematography is very interesting because when they use time travel, when you see them using time travel, it's always in segmented rooms. And so there's always the main way that I've seen it is that there's always one room that's in the present, and then you take the turnstile and somehow it spits you out into the past
Okay.
or into the backwards world. So there's that. Super fucking. It's like, I mean, it's like I told you about in text. Like it's more complicated than Inception, because honestly,
Mm-hmm.
Inception's pretty straightforward. There's just more levels of dreams, and then you wake up progressively, and like
Uh-huh.
that. It's fairly straightforward to get to. This is like this movie's a lot to wrap your head around.
It sounds. This is my concern that we were talking about in our text when you mentioned that you got out of we were talking about in text about the
Hmm.
movie. This is my concern, and obviously I
Yeah,
need to see it for myself. Not saying that you're not explaining it well,
yeah.
but like
I'm not. I don't think I'm explaining it well
because
because I still don't think I fully understand it.
from what you're saying to me, if I'm understanding what you're the it
Yeah.
seems like it's too much.
It's a lot. I think he does a good job of like segmenting up the explanation so he's not like dumping a bunch of shit on you at once. Like the bullet part is its own separate thing, and then there's another part where they talk about the turnstiles, and then there's like segments that he goes throughout that like is able to flesh out the logic of the world a lot
This is
better.
the
But
trajectory of Christopher Nolan that I did not want to happen,
yeah,
which was we get Prestige,
yeah,
and that's based on a book, obviously, but that's gets kind of convoluted, and then
yeah,
they're able to kind of reel it back in with the science and all the Tesla and
hmm,
all this kind of shit.
yeah,
And then you get like Inception, and that's like, okay, this is a weird concept here, okay, but it's pretty. We have a good 20-minute info dump when he's
yeah,
explaining how the rules work to Ellen Page.
yeah,
Okay, so we got that. We're with the kick and then the fucking spinny thing. But
yeah,
then you get to Interstellar, and it's like, okay, now we're just going out there even more.
yeah,
And then the next trajectory is going to be this movie,
yeah.
and it's kind of like, okay, is it going to be straightforward enough? Because like
I think
I
it's still straightforward enough to follow because I mean I still understood what was going on and I still have a grasp of like what
right.
the plot is and like what the motivations for characters are and like how things are working. I think the explanation for it, especially for like me, that it's like I mean I feel like this is one of those movies like as I was watching it I was like I feel like I would understand this better if I had subtitles and I was like able to read the
Yeah.
explanations of like what they're talking about.
Cause my big concern is that it was always going to be that the concept was going to outweigh the narrative,
Mm,
and that he has been very good with these heady movies
yeah.
to balance that pretty well.
Hmm.
I'm just worried that he's going to try to outdo himself constantly, like in the future.
Mm.
And this was a big fear, especially when I watched the trailer, and he's not giving me any sort of
No, he gives you like I
like
mean there's like glimpses of it, but I mean there's really not an
you
explanation for
watch
like
the
what the
trailers
fuck
for
is going on.
Interstellar, and you get the gist of it. They don't tell you that it's going to be that they're going to come fucking like face to face with reality or
Yeah.
whatever. But they don't tell you that part. That part's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But they give you the concept of we're going to space because Earth is dying. They give you
Yeah.
that concept.
Yeah.
You know, um, and I don't remember if they say dream thieves or whatever in the Inception
I
trailers.
think they. I don't remember if they do or not.
But it's the idea that like you don't get anything for this movie for Tenet,
You get the.
and
You mean? I mean, you get the basic thing that it's about time travel and that it's a
yes,
spy movie.
you get that. But
Yeah.
I'm expecting fucking time traveling James Bond.
Um. I mean, there's definitely hints of that in there. I think it. I think it hints really well. Almost more than James Bond. It hits more on the level of like. Well, it hits on Daniel Craig James Bond for sure. Um. He's a very ferocious espionage agent. Um. Much like Daniel Craig's James Bond.
Right.
I would say it's almost like he's got the James Bond thing going on as far as like the style and whatnot, but I almost think it's more of like a Jack Reacher almost
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, like
Okay.
personality wise.
Right. All right. Well, how what would you give it score wise?
Uh I enjoyed it a fuck ton. I really, really liked it. I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I really, really fucking enjoyed it. Um, I don't think it's his best movie, but I think it's up there.
Well,
I think it's up there for sure.
what is his best movie? What is easy answer?
I mean,
It's Inception.
I actually liked it more than Inception.
It's the coolest movie he's ever
I mean,
done.
for me, I was gonna say. I mean, for me, I mean, I really like Prestige from him, and
It's a
then I
great
really
movie.
like, and then I really like. I mean, I'm gonna be this fucking stereotypical fanboy, but I love The Dark Knight. I mean, it's a fucking great movie. So.
You know, and it's hard because for me, The Prestige is such a great movie because I've read the book.
Hmm.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
Um, I mentioned this in the podcast before, but I don't really mention it a ton. I'm a
Hmm.
huge Magic fan.
Yeah.
And you know, and my girlfriend, whenever we watch anything that involves magic, she just
Hmm.
always looks over at me, being like, "Ugh, he's gonna tell me he used to do magic," and then I'll be like, you know, I used to do magic, right? Like, I did I tell a story about how I stopped doing magic on the
Mm-mm.
podcast. Do you know the story, Zach?
I don't remember it.
Okay, so as a kid, I always loved magic,
Hmm.
right? I thought it was super cool. I always loved sleight of hand. I always loved the idea of it.
Yeah.
And then in middle school, I never did anything. And then in middle school, I
Yeah.
saw a Disney Channel original movie called Now You See It
Fuck, dude. All right.
about magic. And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, dude, I'm gonna do it, right? So I got a bunch
Okay.
of I begged my parents for a bunch of dex cards and like magic kits, and I got a bunch of magic kits, and I was doing magic every day in my room to nobody, just
Okay.
practicing technique.
Yeah.
And then eventually I thought I was good enough, so I went on the school bus, and I was doing it on the school bus. Now
Okay.
I went to a school, and the best way to say this, I went to a school in the projects, so I felt like David Blaine. I'll leave it there. I felt like David Blaine doing street magic, right? Where like
Okay.
my reactions were good, like they were good
Yeah.
reactions on the bus, and I would go
Yeah.
to class and do them in class, and it was the same thing. I was David Blaine doing street magic, and I was doing it all through middle school until I went, and even when I went to the middle school that we went to together. This is before I went to that
Right.
middle school.
Okay.
I was doing it there too, just kind of by myself. But then I went to high school,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, perfect. I got a bigger audience, got a bigger crowd to do it.
Got him.
And then I saw this guy
Got
in
the
the
courtyard.
I saw this guy in the middle of the lunchroom.
Mm-hmm.
He was skinnier than me.
Oh
He
man.
had a cool leather jacket.
Oh
He
fuck.
was Mexican, so he spoke with a cool accent.
There you go.
And he was doing card tricks for like the hottest chicks. And he was better card tricks. Sleight of hand was better. And I remember seeing him from afar, being like, I mean, whatever. And then I went to my buddy's house, and he lived two doors down from my buddy. I
Mm.
met the guy, and he was very nice, very cool, and he did a trick for me. I told him that I did magic too. And he did the trick for me, and it just was like a different level, at a
Okay.
different level than me.
Right.
And from that moment on, I said, "Fuck magic." Never doing it again. And I haven't done a single trick since. It's been fucking 10 years.
But you get to always say, I used to do magic, right?
It was, no, it's been more than, it's been fucking 15 years.
Damn.
Or,
That's a
no,
long
almost, or what, 12 years or whatever. Because this fucking dude, was better than me. Mauricio, whatever
Blew it
the
out of the
fuck your
park,
name
man.
was,
Fuck, dude.
you know. And he was older than me, so he maybe had a couple more years in the game,
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah,
that Prestige is, I love Prestige a lot, but I think
yeah,
Inception is just the coolest. To me, it's just the coolest concept.
yeah,
Even if it's not the super most convoluted concept, the idea of like dream thieves just
yeah.
sounds so cool.
Dream Thieves is dope. Yeah, I mean it's really really solid. I like it a lot. I just don't know if it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Because
It's
to
up there.
me, I
It's up
never
there for
I
sure.
never even put Batman in my decision making for his best movie.
Really, The Dark Knight is the only one that I put up there for him with me. Um, I mean, I'm trying to think. Now it's like now I'm going through the shit where it's like fuck, like what is even like my top like five? I don't even fucking know.
Inception, Prestige, um,
Can't even remember off the top of my head.
Insomnia,
Insomnia's up there for me. I really like Insomnia.
and then I guess I would say Dark Knight, and then I would say Interstellar.
Mm,
I think his worst movie is Dunkirk.
I haven't seen Dunkirk actually.
It's not good. It's
You
not
don't
good
like
at
it?
all. No, I was hoping a lot from a war movie from a guy who's from England.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't that good of a movie because there was no personal narrative because it followed a bunch of different
It was a
characters.
bunch of vignettes, right?
It was like vignettes,
Basically.
side stories of different characters that all were interconnected. There was no real, no,
There's no through
not much
line.
talking.
Mm,
And it visually looks great. Obviously, Tom
yeah.
Hardy's obviously and he's a pilot, but like
Hmm.
past that, I just didn't really care. The
Interesting.
story, have it on 4K. I just didn't really, wasn't really amazed by it.
Okay.
Um, so you saw
Yeah.
Tenet.
Yes.
What else did you do?
So the last big thing that I watched, and I know that you did this too.
Okay,
So I'll use this to we can segue into your stuff with this.
sure.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
Watched all three.
yeah,
Um, I realized that like this is the second time I've watched the first movie. I feel like a year ago we did the first Bill and
yeah.
Ted. I feel like, um, but it's been a long time since I watched Bogus Journey. Um, like I recognize parts of it, but a lot of it like I didn't remember. It just been a
Right.
long time, and I fucking loved it. Bogus Journey's great. Um, I think I like it more than Excellent Adventure.
I'd say you're wrong.
I think I do. I think I like it more. I mean, I like their dynamic and their personality, and then Death comes in, and I like what Death adds to their duo.
Yeah,
Um, and then um, I don't know. I mean, the ending for it is sloppy as fuck. Like
it really is.
I didn't know like what the fuck was going on in the ending. Like everything was fine up until they get to the concert venue, and then I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what? You spent all this movie trying to make robots, and like it's done in like a half a second. Like that makes no fucking sense. Uh,
I am definitely more in the fandom of the first movie,
okay,
more so. And I know you watched the Red Letter Media
I
review
did. Yeah,
of the both the first movie or the first second movie.
yeah,
And there's a line in that review that I don't know if it was Jay or Mike. I think it was Mike who said it. But like there for movies that were like 3 4 years apart,
yeah.
they're so distinctly 80s
Oh
and
yeah,
90s.
yeah,
Like Bogus is such a 90s movie in terms of
hmm,
fashion sense and like theme
yeah,
and like color correction and like toning. Like
yeah,
okay, back to the first one's like okay, we're back in time, back to the future style 80s
yeah,
80s comedy about passing your test. And then the 90s movies, okay, you're dead.
yeah.
You go to
You're
hell.
dead. Try to come back to life.
You know, and
But
I
that hell
like
segment is so enjoyable. I love that hell segment so much.
I think it's such a weird departure from the first movie, and it's not a bad
Yeah.
thing. It's really good. I like Bogus a lot. I think it's better than a lot of movies.
Hmm.
Um, how'd you feel about Face the Music?
I mean, I don't know if you watched Jay and Rich talk about it,
No, I
but I mean,
haven't yet.
I basically had the same thoughts they did, which is that I really, really liked Face the Music overall. But the main problem that I had with it, unfortunately, was Keanu Reeves,
Mm,
which was because I mean, you've got Alex Winter there, and he's fucking like acting his fucking ass off. Like I feel like he's like carrying the whole fucking movie. It doesn't feel like he's missed a beat since like Bogus Journey. Like he's got the character there down pat, and like he's got it. But I don't know if it's just like, and it's weird because it's like, I don't know, because even watching like those first two movies recently, it's just so obvious when you like go back and watch like Excellent Adventures and Bogus, and then you watch Face the Music, and it's just clear that like I don't know what happened, but Keanu like doesn't have the same like spark there. I don't know if it's just because he's been like action star for so long and like he just can't
Mhm.
get back to like that headspace of like being like a jokey teenager. But it just feels like I don't know. It
But
just
is
feels
it
like
is
his
it
personality's not there.
is it not? Does it not make sense that he can't be that because he's not that anymore?
Yeah, it makes sense, but it also it makes sense why he can't do it. But I feel like especially like when they're filming the movie, I feel like it's kind of obvious that he can't do it. So I don't know why they didn't try to like ride around that. Where it's like they feel like they tried to at the beginning, where he talks about like selling his guitar, and it feels like he's like a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
disillusioned than Bill is.
Mm-hmm.
But then that like kind of like goes away, and they like never bring it up again. And then they're still trying to have him act like he's on that same energy level, and he's just not
I,
anymore.
I I I get that. I definitely think that Bill Alex Winter was definitely more the bro.
Yeah.
I don't think that it was a problem in my view
Mm.
because Ted was the one who was really going to lose his wife.
Yeah, that's true.
So he had to be. So he, of course, he's going to be more. He's already the one clearly who's giving up
Yeah.
first. So I can see why
I
he
mean,
would
I get the
stop
part. I
being.
mean, they touch on it a little bit where they talk about how like, especially when he's visiting like his future self, like he's the one that's like an alcoholic.
These the alcohol. So he's the one who's already giving up. So maybe I can already see it. I never took it as Keanu can't get into that headspace. Um, but even if that's the truth of it, I think it's gonna sound rude, but Alex Winter only really had one character in his career,
Yeah.
and that's Bill. And Keanu's had fucking seven, or
Yeah.
like iconic between fucking
Yeah.
Point Break and Neo and
Yeah.
John and fucking Lake House.
Yeah.
Like he's had seven different iconic
Yeah.
characters.
He's got. I mean, he's definitely got the bigger like filmography of the two, and like
And,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
and they're all like just slightly different than fucking Ted. Like,
yeah.
obviously,
Whoa.
Speed is like okay,
Yeah.
they're so close together. Point Break, Speed, and Bill and Ted. They're
Hmm.
like that's why it was a big deal when they cast him in Point Break and Speed because he's the action guy, but it's fucking Ted.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't take it that way. It didn't bother me.
Mm.
I like Face the Music a lot. I think it's a really good movie.
I
I
still
think
enjoyed it a lot. I still think it's a really enjoyable movie. Did you like The Daughters?
um I I still and this is gonna sound so stupid because it's a Bill and Ted movie,
Hmm.
but continuity matters to me, and them
Okay.
not being sons still bothers me.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of like hand wave it away where they talk about like that's their nicknames is Billy and
They they
Ted.
they did that. I was expecting more of what my hypothesis was
Mm.
of them finding the song from a better version of Bill and Ted that is from the ones that we saw in one and two.
Yeah.
That was not what happened.
No.
Um, um,
I mean, not that that didn't. Yeah, I mean that didn't happen, but I mean it's clear in like the first. At least to me, it was clear in like the first like 5 minutes. As soon as the person from the future shows up, I was like, oh, their daughters are gonna write the fucking song. Okay.
yeah, and I
I
didn't
was
like
like,
that.
this is the route we're going down.
Didn't care for that particularly either because why wouldn't Rufus just tell them that?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, I
Because
guess
why
they're
would all the iconography in the future have Bill and Ted?
yeah. I mean, that's the thing that's the
You know,
strangest, sure, is that like yeah, their daughters wrote it, but like it almost feels like the way that they wrote it, it's like their dads are kind of assholes because like for some reason like their daughters write the song, but like their dads are the ones that are like known throughout the entire
yeah.
universe. It's like
Like
these
why
peacemakers, but it like they
it
didn't do it.
and it's so weird because the guys who wrote the movie are the ones who created the series. So it makes it's so hard for me to like get mad, but like
Yeah.
the iconography and the pictures all throughout the first movie are of Bill and Ted.
Well, I mean, the second movie starts off with like a giant statue of them in front of a university.
And like the whole point is that like they do the guitar thing in the
Yeah.
first movie, but the daughters are DJs.
Yeah.
So that doesn't correlate at all. And
Yeah.
I'm nitpicking continuity from Bill and Ted,
Yeah.
which has no
No
logic, rhyme, or
continuity.
reason. But it's the fact that if you're gonna set me rules,
Hmm.
I want you to stick by your own rules. And that bothered me. Not enough to take away from the enjoyment, because I think the daughters were fine.
Yeah.
Um, I think that Bill and Ted should have wrote the song. I think that it should have
Yeah.
been a better song.
I still think that Bill and Ted should have wrote the song. Yeah.
Because I was listening to the soundtrack on my phone, like driving,
Hmm.
and one of the songs is by Mastodon, which is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh, is that the prison song?
No, the song's called. I mean, it's called Rufus Lives.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
great song. I was like, that should have been the fucking song. It's this sweet heavy metal track, like soaring guitars. But visually, some of the CG looked kind of rough, especially in the
Yeah.
future. The future CG looked rough.
Well, that was
That
that was
green
the thing
screen looked
that
bad.
Red Letter. Yeah. I mean, it was the thing that was like it was the most glaringly obvious thing to me, and I wish they'd just done a set like because I think it would have looked better. But it was just like they're in the future, and it's just so
Yeah,
empty.
it's
And I'm just
empty.
like,
It's
what the
clear.
fuck is this?
The green
Like it
screen looks
doesn't.
rough,
Yeah, green screen looks super rough.
and also the idea that like, okay, it wasn't like it was Rufus's idea that they were gonna save the future.
Yeah, it was
There was
prophecy.
people above Rufus who believed it.
Yeah.
Like Rufus was just the messenger.
That was weird that yeah they transformed Rufus into like the leader of the future society when he was just like a grunt that was like
He
told to
was
like
just a
you
guy.
he was the guy that was like you go and make sure that they do what they need to do.
Like
All right.
it was like the black dude and the two other people in the council who were like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're the leaders.
Yeah.
Rufus is going to be the one that ensures that this happens, but we already know that Bill and Ted write the song and save the future,
Yeah.
but then they don't. So
Yeah.
it contradicts the first and second movie in a way that is honestly to most people wouldn't matter because it's Bill and Ted, but to me it's the equivalent of Terminator 3. Like it's like
Jesus.
it directly changes what the first and second movie tell you are going to happen,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
that to me like breaks your own rules of the continuity. Now, again, it's still enjoyable, and there's still a
Yeah.
ton of funny moments in the movies,
Hmm.
um, like them saying that we sued death. You're like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
didn't tell you this. All that stuff is really funny.
Yeah.
Um, but in terms of like continuity of the story, it makes me like, okay, why do I have a bunch of like Bill and Ted comic books? Like, why the fuck do I have these? Because
Hmm.
Bill and Ted don't write the fucking song.
Yeah. That's true.
You know.
Although in
Other
the
than
first,
that,
did
I
they ever
mean,
say that they write the song, or do they just say that they play the song?
write the song.
Okay.
You know.
I know in this one they push heavy on like the you're supposed to write the song, but I couldn't remember if they actually said
Also, we're pretty sure they wrote the
play the
song
song.
in the second movie. That's the whole point. That was the whole point. They went to the
Yeah,
future, learned their instruments,
and
had
they kind
babies,
of
came back.
gave that aside. They were like, oh yeah, that wasn't really the song.
Yeah, you know, like so. But then they go and they.
I still liked where they started at the beginning of the movie at, where they're like fucking playing like their fucking what was it, Ted's brother's wedding, who is now
Yeah.
married to Missy because she fucking married somebody else in that fucking family.
That
They're
to me is
playing
all
weird
funny.
experimental shit.
That's funny to me. I don't like the oh, what was it? I really didn't love the daughter's time traveling bit from the first movie.
I was about to say you didn't like them rehashing the first movie over again.
Didn't like that because it's just Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
Like they're just they're and more so Thea is Ted.
yeah.
Like she walks like
Oh yeah, she's like
Keanu.
doing an actual like impersonation
She's
of
doing
Ted.
like an impersonation of Keanu. She walks like Keanu. Also, what the fuck is she wearing?
I don't know what the fuck that. She got some weird skin tight shirt
Some
on.
like
I don't know.
fucking like surfer shirt? Like
It
is that
makes
what you're trying to do?
no. It makes
Like
no.
some
At least Billy is wearing like a fucking normal ass outfit,
fucking like what was it like Dickies
which
shorts? You
doesn't make
know,
any sense because it's like she feels more like Ted than the other chick feels like Bill, but like I don't know where the fuck she got that fat because like Ted dressed like a normal fucking dude.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I like the movie for what it is. It definitely
yeah,
wasn't what I wanted. It's not what I
Okay.
wanted the end to be. I wanted a different ending. I
I
wanted,
wanted a more. I mean, the Red Letter Meter talked about this too, and I felt the same thing, which is just like it just feels weird that it just ends. Like there's
yeah.
no epilogue to it. They just play the song and they're like, all right, credits, and I'm just like,
Also, I
it feels
really,
weird.
and this is because it's not Bill and Ted who write the song, which again, I don't like,
Yeah.
is that the whole movie is laced with sweet riffs.
Mm.
Literally, they do guitar solos in the
Yeah.
air, which also not enough of that.
Yeah.
Um, Too late in the movie for the first one, I think.
Hmm.
Also, no 69 dude, which bugged me.
Mm.
But the
They did station at least
to me
once.
the
They did station one
song
time.
should have like been like a straight up like a hard rock, like a Van Halen song,
Yeah.
not some like DJ collab mixture thing. And I get this because it's supposed to be 2020. The DJs, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it.
Yeah,
But to
I don't know,
me,
but I also just think it's like I don't know when you think that it's like it's supposed to unite all of people. Most people don't like heavy metal.
I'm not heavy metal, but they're rockers. That's the
Yeah,
whole point. That they shred so good that's gonna make everyone go holy shit.
yeah.
And then it's not even talk about the whole idea of like, okay, we're gonna give you this a bunch of bullshit quantum physics time travel in two
Oh yeah.
seconds at the very end to explain away our piss poor writing about
Oh yeah,
how
where
it's
they
gonna
basically
reunite
just
the
go to every
universe
parallel universe at the same
at the
or no,
same
it's not even
time.
parallel universes.
Is it every time? Is it
Was it
happening at
parallel?
this? No, it's every universe is or every time period is colliding in on itself, so it's happening at
Right.
the same time. So we can
Hmm.
make infinite number of ourselves be at the same place at one time.
This shit made no sense.
It is stupid.
Well, I mean, in tradition of Bill and Ted, though, their third acts are always a fucking mess. So
Yeah, it's stupid. And still to me the ending of the first movie is still the best. Of hey,
I do like
our
the ending of the first movie a
we're gonna have
lot.
our presentation and it's gonna be
Hmm.
great and we're gonna have Billy the Kid and I wish they would have brought him back. They should have brought back people from the first movie.
Yeah, that would have been nice if you'd seen like Napoleon and Billy the
Yeah,
Kid and
like
yeah,
they
like
should have
Abraham
brought
Lincoln.
back Beethoven from the first movie.
Yeah, that made no sense because they did Mozart. I was like, why wouldn't you just grab Beethoven too?
Like
Just get both of them.
you could have Beethoven like playing again,
Yeah,
and then like it would happen, and he still wouldn't hear it, but then they tap him on the shoulder, and he'd be like, "Gotcha."
I did like that they had Jimi Hendrix at least. That was nice.
That scene took too long.
Yeah, it took a lot.
That scene took too long for him not to be important enough.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't like Bill and Ted were like, "Oh my God, it's Jimi Hendrix." They didn't give a shit
Yeah,
because what they should have done was Van Halen
yeah,
because they talked about him in the first movie.
yeah. Should have been Eddie Van
They
Halen.
literally say, "Okay, how can Wild Stallions become Wild Stallions? We need fucking Van Halen on guitar."
Yeah,
Well, how do we get Van Halen?
yeah.
You know, we have to write the song and have a cool
You know how you do
video.
it?
Have
You
a
get
cool
Kid Cudi to show up and explain quantum physics to
yeah,
you.
fucking pointless.
That shit was so
Pointless.
it was so weird to me that he showed. I was just like, why the fuck is Kid Cudi in this movie? This makes no fucking sense. And
Because
I love Kid Cudi, but
Kid Cudi has a couple acting credits.
I guess does he?
Yeah, he was in a couple TV shows or something.
Oh, I had no clue. All right.
So I mean, besides that,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a good ending.
It's an enjoyable movie.
It's an enjoyable movie, but it's not a good ending.
No,
And the ending does suck.
the ending could have been
Um,
better for sure.
so beyond that, I mean, it's a movie.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we even got it.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Excuse
that's
me.
the biggest thing for me is I still am shocked that this movie even got made. Like
Yeah,
fucking 20 years later. No, 30 years later.
yeah, I really am, and I'm honestly kind of questioning like, should we have gotten it? Should we have gotten it? I don't know.
now that you have it, you're questioning if we even deserve it.
Yeah, I'm almost kind of like Die Hard 4ing it. Like, oh man, should we? Did we really need to get? Should we really have gotten Rocky
But Die Hard
Balboa?
4 never needed to be made.
Like, should we really have gotten Rocky Balboa? I don't know.
All you need is what is it? What's the third one? Die Harder?
Oh,
No.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's the last
Literally,
one.
like I think HBO, it's either HBO or Netflix. One of the apps got Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like scrolling through, and they only got Die Hard 1, 2, and 3. I was like, that's all you need.
That's all you need. That's the
That's
perfect
all
trilogy.
you need. It's all
That
you
wraps
need.
up Die Hard with a Vengeance wraps up his entire story.
That's it. The moment his hair starts to go completely bald,
Yeah.
don't need it anymore.
No.
Zach, did you do anything else?
No, that was the big stuff. Yeah, those are the big things. So, Jason, what else did you watch besides Bill and Ted?
Let me get a sip of water real quick.
Yeah, lay it on me.
All right, a couple things I did this past couple weeks. Obviously, Face the Music.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I did, speaking of Naruto,
Mm.
is I reread Naruto up until the right before the war
The
starts.
Great Shinobi War. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean from chapter 1
Mm-hmm.
until like chapter like 500 something.
I think something like that, because it was like I'd never read the Naruto manga, but it got to the point where I was like watching the anime, and it was part of the anime where the Shinobi War started. And there's like some hype stuff in the Shinobi War. Like it's all kind of like, especially like the end epilogue of it is all garbage. But when you're like actually in the Shinobi War and you're doing all the fights,
Yeah.
there's some like pretty hype stuff in there. So I was like, it got to the point where I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna find out what chapter it is, and from there I just like
Yeah.
speed read to the end. But I still
Yeah.
hate the end of Naruto. I think it's
I'm
garbage.
I'm like it's like 200 some chapters until the end of the series, but I reread from 1 to like 580 something or 560 something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've read Shippuden the second half a couple times
Mm-hmm.
through, and I never really went back to the beginning because I've read the first part of Naruto
Mm-hmm.
a billion times as a kid because
Yeah.
I had all the manga and stuff. So this is the first time as like an adult, for almost 30 years old, to read all of it and kind of see
Mm-hmm.
the progression as an adult. Um, a lot of the first part of the series, it's tough, man. It's tough to get
Mm-hmm.
through. Not because it's bad,
Yeah.
but because I know it's not even the fault of the creator, because it's not. It's the fault of knowing how strong and how overpowered and how Dragon Ball it gets. So
Yeah.
seeing the small problems at the beginning, I'm like, fucking
I don't know,
what?
dude. I still that my favorite arc is still that Zabuza arc. That arc is such a
I
fucking good.
always hated that arc.
I love the Zabuza arc. Oh my
People, I
god,
remember as a kid, people were
so
like,
fucking hype.
that character's so cool. It's like, no, that character
I
blows.
fucking that sword is fucking badass.
Who
That head flipper
cares?
sword. Oh my
Character
god,
blows.
that show breaks the he breaks the continuity of the entire show after that because the hypest part in that whole arc is when Kakashi is copying him and it takes him fucking 5 minutes to do the hand signs for a water dragon, and you skip like 100 chapters later and people are doing like two hand signs and they're pulling out like the most OP techniques I've ever seen. And I was
Yeah.
like, what happened to that shit where it took like 5 minutes to do like
Well,
a fucking high level move?
it's the Harry Potter effect where
Yeah.
you don't even have to say the words anymore. You just flick your wand and you're
Yeah.
fucking doing killing spells.
Mm.
But tuning exam is still great.
Yeah.
Like when I
Tuning
think
exam's great.
when I rank up my favorite arcs and shonen stuff, it's like tuning exam, Save Rukia, Marineford, One Piece are like some of my favorite arcs of all time.
Yeah.
Tuning exam, the whole thing up from the quiz all the way
Is
until
up
the
to
end.
or before or after Orochimaru's attack? Or are you including that
I'm
too?
including that. I'm including the
Okay.
entire all the way until the end of Gara fight
Yeah.
with
Gara fight
Naruto.
is pretty great.
But obviously the hypest part. What's your favorite part of tuning exam from the quiz all the way until the end of Third Hokage death?
It's Gara versus Rock Lee. It's
Oh,
always
it's
Gara versus
Gara
Rock Lee.
versus Rock Lee.
Yeah, it's Gara versus Rock Lee. It's
Gara
always
versus Rock
Gara
Lee.
versus Rock Lee. That's a good ass fig.
Yeah, SH Figure Arts.
That's
Shippuden Rock
Shippuden,
Lee.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's got the tuning vest.
Got the
Yeah,
tuning,
that's
got the Jonin vest.
yeah, dude. Gara Rock Lee should have been the fucking protagonist in Naruto. Like, god damn it, he's such a fucking good character.
Yeah, as I was reading it, like I was telling you and through text, that like I was looking at forums of how people felt about Naruto, and people were like, yeah, okay. And you sent me that video. I forgot to watch it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure the video that you sent me, the video essay, I'm sure it mentions this where getting to the part where I'm at in Naruto,
Mm-hmm.
it really is a hype contradiction of its own message,
Yeah.
which is that for the first half of the series is that hard work will get you to become the strongest.
Well, the epitome of that is fucking his fight against Neji, where he's like,
Yeah,
You can defy destiny
defy
if you work hard
destiny.
enough. If you believe in your dreams enough, you can defy destiny.
You can become a free bird.
And then the
Where
whole point of Shippuden is my parents were OP, and I
yeah,
also have the most broken shit ever
and
trapped inside my
also
stomach.
I'm the prophecy.
Yeah, I'm the
Al-
literal God incarnate thanks to my
I'm on the
telomeres.
prophecy. Jiraiya says I'm the prophecy, even though the entire first half of the series is
You haven't got there yet, but it's like he's literally. It's like it gets to the point where it's just like, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke are like the reincarnation
no,
of
yeah,
God.
I know they're the
And
god
it's
ninjas
fucking
reincarnated.
stupid. Fucking that shit
So
pisses me off so
how
much.
does the show go from being ninja to
Yeah,
being about fucking like space god alien time ninjas?
because the whatever his name is, I can't remember what his name is.
Kishimoto.
Kishimoto couldn't figure out how the fuck to wrap up his story
Because
because he
it
introduced.
should have ended with ninja.
Yeah, well, it should have ended with fucking pain. That
Yeah,
was like the
yes,
perfect wrap up
absolutely.
for Naruto because that was like
Absolutely.
that pain arc is like you're getting on the cusp of like, okay, shit's getting like kind of too broken. Like
Well,
this is like,
the moment someone can destroy a whole town
yeah,
and then
yeah,
bring them all back to life.
yeah,
Okay, it took Goku
yeah,
a day to run across Snake Way,
yeah.
and his friends had to go to another planet
Hmm.
to find Dragon
Was it a
Balls.
day? I thought it was like a week.
I thought it was like a day. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Whatever it is,
It was a long time.
you know. Well, he had to get there to fucking fight Nappa, so it had to be a day,
Yeah,
right?
I guess
To
so.
save his friends, but even then, because their own Dragon Balls were destroyed, they had to at least collect them
Yeah,
and then travel to another planet to collect their Dragon Balls to bring back their
yeah,
friends. But all Pain had to do was go, I'll follow you, Naruto,
yeah.
and then bring back the
Naruto.
entire town.
And then he
So
said, "You better believe it."
at that point, I'm like, okay, I liked it. I liked that whole storyline.
That Pain arc is great. I mean, it's. I mean, I like the Pain fight. I like Pain as a character. His backstory is interesting, and the relationship, especially like, I like the way that they use his relationship with Jiraiya to comment on Naruto's relationship with Jiraiya, and I like that character building aspect of the Pain arc. But then after that is the shit just gets fucking stupid because that's when Madara comes back
Yeah.
and like all the weird shit with like fucking the wood guy. I can't remember his fucking name, but that's like he gets kidnapped after that, and then that shit's fucking broken because then in the manga like he basically is like non-existent once he gets kidnapped. I don't know what the fuck happens. I think he dies. I guess
Well,
it's so stupid.
the to me the biggest factors are that it should have started out as Ninja and ended purely as Ninja. You could
Yeah,
still bring Madara in and all that stuff and have it be a reincarnation jutsu like Orochimaru does. You
yeah,
could still have the over-ass powered eye shit. You can do all that stuff. Just don't bring in gods.
yeah,
Don't bring in like space shit. Don't bring in time stuff. Don't bring in different dimensional beings.
yeah,
Just have it, and just don't even have that in there.
yeah.
Have the Madara fight be the last fight, and
Hmm.
then the following fight of like the fucking whatever that white person thing is, just don't have that.
Fucking
Just
stupid. That
don't
fight is
have that
so
because that just
fucking garbage. It
that
should have
takes
been the
the
Madara
entire
fight.
show and ruins it.
It should have done the Madara fight, and then you have that final Sasuke Naruto fight, and then that's it. Because you
I
have to have them fight, obviously.
truthfully believe it should
Even
have been.
though that shit is so fucking stupid, because then that fucking whole last fight between Sasuke and Naruto is hinged on the fact that Sasuke wants to become the Hokage, and I'm like, bitch, you why? You don't give a fuck about anybody. You don't care about this village. Why the
Also,
fuck?
it's acting as though like in my own mind of power scaling, eyes will never be powerful compared to fucking spirit demons.
No, spirit
And
demons are
and
the most OP shit.
and he has 9 of them,
He has one.
but he fucking has bits of the other ones inside of
Yeah,
him.
he can like borrow the power of the
So
other
you're
nine.
telling me that
Yeah.
one dude with fucking fancy eyes is still better than fucking 9?
Well, they're like the eyes that control everything, right? I can't remember exactly the explanation for
Like
the
how
Rinnegan.
like
So,
that's the problem with like it's the Super Saiyan problem.
yeah,
But Kishimoto and Naruto took it to a different level to where
yeah,
it's just too much.
yeah,
Because now no one, because now you introduce aliens or whatever the fuck they are, different
hmm,
dimensional ninja beings.
yeah,
Because no one on the plane of existence can compare to Naruto and Sasuke
yeah,
post that.
yeah.
because no one can compete.
I know it's something like that in Boruto. I don't know. I haven't taken the chance to watch it because
Well,
that
There's an
this
arc in
shit's
Boruto where
stupid.
they go in the past,
Yeah, yeah, because
where they
yeah,
get
he
sent to
like
the
he
past.
like meets Naruto as a kid.
Like fuck you.
Yeah. Well, that shit, it's just stupid. I mean, I have no interest to watch it because it's Boruto series, but then it still ends up being about fucking Naruto and Sasuke the whole fucking time. And I was like,
It
why the fuck are you even calling it Boruto then?
it
Just call it the
purely
continuation of
should
Naruto.
be. It should have started as Ninja, ended as Ninja, and they should have
You can't
never.
even, but you can't even blame Toshimoto at that point because he's not writing Boruto.
No, he's not writing. But talking about in Naruto, the
Yeah,
manga that Kishimoto created and finished, it
yeah,
should have never got to the point where they're like, yeah, I have put my chakra inside of the seal so
yeah,
you can fucking meet both your overpowered ass parents. And
yeah,
my bloodline, the Uzumaki bloodline, was known for being the best fucking host of spirit. Fuck
yeah,
you. Fuck you completely.
yeah.
It should have been that fucking Naruto had to struggle to become the best Jinchi, whatever the fuck.
Jinchuriki.
Because now it's not even him and Gara aren't even on the same playing field anymore.
No. Well, he's not on the playing field with like any of the other
Because like,
Jinchuriki.
the whole point is like they all suffered equally
Yeah,
together. They are chosen for some reason.
yeah,
But oh, actually, the Uzumaki clan, we have special chakra,
yeah,
and our chakra actually lets us hold demons better than
yeah.
anybody else.
Because my
Okay,
mom held the demon.
okay,
Don't you
not
know?
not even that, but that too. Like it's like the whole
Yeah,
clan. We've been for generations.
yeah,
We've held in the demon because we're the
hmm
best.
yeah.
Okay, fuck you. Fuck you. That's Bleach shit. And people get mad at Bleach for being convoluted and dumb shit. That's from Bleach shit.
I haven't read Bleach, but I've heard it gets pretty
So
convoluted. Yeah.
Bleach, like, okay, the beginning of Bleach is like, okay, I'm a guy. I can see
hmm
ghosts because my mom's dead or some shit.
Something like
I
that.
become a Spirit Reaper. I get
hmm
powers from a different Spirit Reaper. She goes away. They pull my powers away, but I have them inside of me already. So now I awaken my own powers. But
hmm
because my dad used to be a dead Spirit Reaper, but he chose life when he married my mom, and my mom
Oh
was
my
a
god.
was a different type of spirit hunter
That's
called a
the
Quincy.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the bow and arrow people, right?
and when we married, that was a bad thing. So now not only do I have Spirit Reaper powers inside of me because of my dad and whatever, I also have Quincy powers because of
That's
my
so
mama.
fucking
So
stupid.
that's stupid as fuck, right? And
Yeah,
I love Bleach.
yeah.
It was my favorite one for a long time. I
hmm
think art style it's still the best drawn. But Naruto has that for sure. And anyone who says that is fucking bullshit lying.
No,
Because
Naruto has that for sure.
if Naruto
Honestly,
start
it's surprised that like One Piece doesn't have some convoluted fucking bullshit like that.
it does.
It
It
does?
does, but not in the same way. Naruto
Okay.
has it all through bloodline shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a fucking reincarnated god. My fucking mom was this. My dad was this.
Yeah.
All that bullshit, right? And they're powerful because of this, right?
hmm
Whereas in One Piece, Luffy is very powerful and strong because it is a bloodline esque thing. Because
Because it's
his
his grandpa?
grandpa is a vice admiral in the navy.
Okay.
He has a
His
power.
dad's the rebel leader, right?
Right. So his grandpa Garp is a
hmm
hero. Fought Gold Roger his whole life.
hmm
Hero of the navy. Very strong, powerful guy with a power called Haki,
hmm
which is like spiritual presence, right?
hmm
Like chakra, whatever. No devil fruit.
Right.
And then his dad, who's the son of the strong Navy guy, some would say one of the strongest Navy guys of all time,
hmm
top three or whatever. His son is the revolutionary who the world government hates him.
Yeah.
So you assume he's going to be at least as powerful as his dad because that's his dad.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why Luffy would be that because look at his generation,
Mm.
right? Um, but they don't explain like, oh, it's in the DNA, like it's the blood. No, they're just Luffy wanted to be a pirate. If he didn't want to be a pirate, he could have been a Navy guy, still been powerful, or he could have fucking been nothing. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they start acting and like, okay, well, he has this level of hockey. He has
hmm
this level of hockey. They keep
Okay.
adding in plot armor to make the
Okay.
characters stronger because the bad guys that they're facing are just too fucking strong. Like if they
Okay.
don't, like if Oda, the guy who makes One Piece, doesn't give Luffy and his crew plot armor, they'll never win.
Okay.
You know, like it's the same problem with Naruto and Madara. Like he made Madara so fucking strong.
Yeah.
You know, like they made Madara so strong. They made Orochimaru so powerful in the first half when like he's fucking bringing back Hokage from the dead.
Yeah.
You know, he can kill a Hokage. You know, even if the Hokage is old.
Mm-hmm.
But now fucking and the fourth Hokage has to give his life to save the village from the fucking QB.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, at some point in the series, demon foxtails don't mean shit no more
Yeah.
because they're what? Because eyes.
Yeah.
Like fucking fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
That's fair.
So I'm rereading Naruto. I'm at that point right now. I started rereading One Piece. Speaking of One Piece.
Oh, I will say, Naruto does have one good thing in probably the best thing in the series besides the Gaara Rock Lee fight, which is my guy has his moment. That moment when you get to that,
Which moment though? There's like four.
it's he goes up against Madara, and
Zach, I have read the whole series.
Wait, I thought you hadn't read.
I've read
series.
Shippuden 4 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I thought
yeah.
you had. I thought you hadn't
No.
ever completed it before.
I've read the whole thing.
Okay.
So all eight
it's
gates
when he
is
fucking
great.
unlocks all eight gates.
Is
He
great.
fucking goes. It's the fucking the pinnacle of that entire arc.
Yeah, all 8 gates is great. I because that sacrifice means something.
Yeah.
Like we know that. Okay.
Also, it goes back to the whole thing of like where Rock Lee should have been the fucking protagonist because he fucking can do that because he fucking worked his entire fucking life to be able to unlock the eight gates.
Yeah, and that's why I love the Gar fight so much because like it's the interactions between Guy and Kakashi.
Yeah.
Where like Kakashi's like, okay, well, what's going on here? And then Guy's like, oh yeah, he can do the gates. And Kakashi's like, excuse me? Well, you taught him that? He's like, well, yeah, I have to.
He can't do anything else.
And then Kakashi's like, okay, well, how many can he unlock? I think it's 5. And he's like, what the fuck, 5?
5.
A 5? What? You know. And then like of course later on when you see Sasuke used Chidori, Guy flip flops where Guy's like, you taught him that? He's like, you can't say anything.
Yeah.
You can't say shit because you fucking taught the
other guy.
Can't
say shit. You fucking taught him the gates.
Taught him the gates, man.
Yeah.
Best part of Gar fight with Rock Lee is the equivalent of, what is it? What is the equivalent? I'm trying to remember what it is. When he takes the weights off.
Oh
it's Goku with the fucking
Goku when he what is it?
The socks or the bands or what is it?
I think so, bands or something like that. I think it's he's in the martial arts tournament. I think he takes off his like wristbands. Yeah.
But it's worse because obviously in Naruto, like he takes off the plates out of his like leg and arm sleeves, and people are like, man,
he put ankle weights on.
Fuck
enough.
This
guy.
And then he drops them, and they fucking like explode. That's my point. Though, is like I've read the whole series 4 times, and after the 4th time, it still doesn't get better. Like the war part. Like I thought that maybe I would understand and appreciate the outlandish ninja shit.
I think I still appreciate. I think I still appreciate specifically the stuff that doesn't involve Naruto, which is all the when they resurrect all the Kages and stuff like that. I really like that a lot.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
It's just all this stuff. It's as soon as Naruto gets involved, and then I'm just like, fuck, god damn it, not again.
Well, it's like that again. It's that fine line of, okay, are we gonna go Super Saiyan God?
Yeah.
Are we gonna go Ultra Instinct and just eradicate everything else from before it? Because now, if God and Instinct, which I've never seen, by the way,
the Ultra Instinct thing is so fucking stupid.
If that's going to completely eradicate the whole idea of a Super Saiyan being a level up. You know,
well, then they
power scaling so badly.
Well, I mean, he already fucking broke that shit with the Super Saiyan God, because then it was like, oh, it takes the power of all these people, and then you can have fucking Vegeta and Goku do it at the same time, which makes no fucking sense. And then there's a level beyond that because they go blue, and I'm just like,
a level beyond.
You can go above beyond, which makes no fucking sense. And then instead of like progressively doing more levels of blue, they're just like, you just do Ultra Instinct, which is basically you're fucking untouchable.
Exactly. So this and there's that it's that shonen, power scaling problem that everyone hits if you last long enough.
Which is
But to,
surprising to me because that manga's still going on. Like he's still doing Dragon Ball Super, and I'm like, how? Like I don't know where the fuck you can go beyond Ultra Instinct.
I think it's over now. I think it's over.
No, the manga's still going on.
I thought
There's
it was
still
over now.
no, there's still new
Because
chapters
the
being
anime's
released.
over.
No, well the anime's over, but the manga's still going on. Like there's a big fight. I saw on my anime group in Facebook, a lot of people are talking because there's apparently some big fight going on with Vegeta. So
That's super.
people think that Vegeta was finally going to get his due, and then I saw like a month or two later, everybody was like, "Yeah, they fucking stole away from Vegeta. Fucking Goku showed up," and I was like, "What the fuck did you expect? They're never going to give Vegeta his fucking due."
Well, and it's the problem that I have with power scaling and stuff. I'm really backlit right now. That's the problem I have with power scaling. But the Naruto power scaling is just really bad. It just gets convoluted as fuck,
Yeah.
and to the point where it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
One Piece power scaling and One Piece is going on for so long now,
Yeah.
is that there's so many strong people that they have to level up eventually because the series is supposed to be an end game, but or
I
they
think he said it was. I think I saw recently that he's like, it's going to be like 3 more years, and then One Piece will be over. And it's like, all right, that's when I'll read it.
yeah, we'll see if that actually happens,
Yeah.
But it's the fucking where Naruto goes is just too much. It's ridiculous. He should have kept
Well,
it
yeah,
more
I mean, I
more
think the
grounded.
biggest thing between like Naruto and like Dragon Ball is that like even with all the stupid shit in Dragon Ball, it's still like typically easy to follow and it's like easy to pick up like where the power levels are at. If you just like jumped into like the third arc of or the third Shinobi War or whatever the fuck it's called, you would like be so fucking confused.
Well, because fucking Toriyama does it easy. Okay,
Yeah,
black hair, base
yeah,
state,
hmm
gold hair, Super Saiyan 1,
yeah,
electricity with a little boop thing
boop,
for Goku's and shit.
yeah.
Super Saiyan 2,
Ooh. Long
no
ass hair.
no eyebrows, long ass hair. Super Saiyan 3. Now, if you want
You
to
turn
stop,
back into a monkey, Super Saiyan 4.
if you want to stop there and you want to take in the GT, the
No,
Grand
you
Tour,
don't.
Grand
You
Tour,
never,
Dragon Ball
you never want to
GT,
fucking take in the GT.
then you go Super Saiyan 4, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But like with Naruto, it's
Mhm.
fucking okay. I can now go QB form, now on fire.
Yeah.
Now I can heal people's wounds.
I can manifest a weird version of QB with my energy, which makes no fucking sense.
I can also bring back eyes that never existed.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, guys,
Yeah.
what are we doing? So
Yeah.
Naruto. Then I watched a documentary on Netflix or on HBO Max
Mhm.
called Class Action Park,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a documentary about a theme park that existed in the 80s and 90s in New Jersey.
I think I remember, because I remember you had a news article on this.
Yeah.
I think I actually watched the Defunct Land episode on
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was just a theme park in New Jersey that just had no rules.
Yeah.
It was owned by a guy who did not give a shit, and people died. A lot of people died there, and there were a lot of fucked up things that happened.
Yeah.
And it was a good documentary. It was interesting. It definitely should have been a docu-series because they could have done a lot more with it and been more interesting. An hour and a half was not enough to explain kind of what's happening here at this park.
Okay.
But it was fun. Lastly, for watching wise,
Mhm.
I started watching Netflix's new show called Young Wallander.
I don't think I've heard of that.
It's a crime series based on a bunch of like Nordic noir novels called Wallander by a guy named Henning Mankell. And Kurt Branagh did a series called Wallander for BBC or whatever,
Okay.
and he did like I don't know how many episodes, a lot of episodes. Like each episode was an hour long, hour and a half long, the typical British style show. And it was pretty much adapting a book per episode. And the Kenneth Branagh series is really good. This is supposed to be like a prequel to that of the character when he's younger, but it
Okay.
takes place in modern day, so it's not really a prequel because it's
Hmm.
future compare. I don't know. It's not good so far. I'm
Okay.
on episode 2, 3 of
Okay.
6, and it's not great. It's not. It's
So I
not
should just
good.
watch Wallander.
Just watch Wallander.
Okay.
And also Wallander has. I'm pretty sure Wallander has Loki in it.
Does it? Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays one of his like.
Oh, he does. Look at
I'm
that.
pretty sure he plays one of his like tech guys or something like that.
Little
Um,
Loki. Huh.
so that's the last thing I watched, and then also real quick, I showed my Rock Lee fig.
Yes.
I also picked up Dragon Ball Bulma,
Okay. Okay.
and then I picked up
I do like that design for Bulma.
Dragon Ball Goku,
Nice.
and lastly, I picked up this one cost a lot of money,
Okay.
Majin Buu.
Fuck, dude, that one looks pretty sick. I like that.
So picked those up, and then I picked up that Naruto behind me,
Mm-hmm.
and that Gogeta behind me. And then that's really it. That's all I've done so far.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing
Nice, nice, nice. Good shit. Good
this
shit.
week.
Dylan,
Um,
son of a bitch.
do you want to hit some news, man?
Let's hit some news.
Let's do some news.
Let's see.
We got one!
I mean, the thing that sticks out to me the most, because I was reading the news again, and the thing that sticks out to me the most is this fucking younger Yoda story in the High Republic.
Yeah.
This shit is so fucking stupid, because first of all, this concept art, he doesn't look any fucking different.
You can't say he looks
He's
a little
still-
more agile.
He's more agile. He's still walking around with a fucking cane. Like he doesn't look any different. Like I feel like if he's a few centuries younger, you can at least not have him walk around with a fucking cane.
So the news is that there's a new comic book coming out in the High Republic Star Wars line next year, and it's supposed to have a younger Yoda.
Oh, I didn't actually see that they delayed the books. Interesting.
The concept art is there. I think they're supposed to make him look younger in his face expression.
Maybe, I guess.
I personally,
I don't know. I think it looks really fucking stupid.
I'm so hit or miss with this.
I also just don't care about Yoda that much. I don't know.
I'm
I
really-
like Yoda in like the original series, but like other than that,
I'm unsure of where I stand with the High Republic right now. Still, obviously we haven't got the first book yet, but
right.
I mentioned this in the news doc, but I took it away.
Mhm.
But last week, Hot Toys and Sideshow. Do you know Hot Toys?
I've heard of Hot Toys.
They're
yeah.
a very, very expensive figure company that Sideshow Collectibles puts out here in the States, in North America, and the West, or whatever.
Mhm.
Highly articulated, 12-inch figures,
Mhm.
detailed cloth material, super detailed, very fancy figures. They just put up a pre-order for Ahsoka Tano,
Okay.
and it looks rad. It looks rad.
Oh yeah, I did see this on your Instagram.
Yeah, so I pre-ordered it. I had to do it. I had to do it because it looks awesome. So it got me thinking about where I stand with Star Wars currently, because I started reading again the first book called Vector Prime in the New Jedi Order series, which is like kind of around where the sequel series would take place in the old expanded universe. Kind of like 21 years after Return of the Jedi, I started reading that book again. And it got me thinking about High Republic and like where do I stand with it.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna suck.
Okay.
I think it's gonna suck. I think all the books are gonna suck.
Yeah.
And I think Star Wars might be dead.
Probably.
Like,
But this is the same thing that we've thought for a long time now.
I also saw a small theory on YouTube saying that it's not true. It's not going to happen, but it's theory people are having.
Okay.
That, I think actually the sequel trilogy was a different dimension. And that we're going to get a different sequel trilogy.
Oh, in the proper timeline?
At some point in the original timeline.
Okay.
I'm just saying. We can hope. I think
I
this
mean,
year.
that would probably make John Boyega happy because they fucking kicked his ass to the fucking curb.
How do you feel about what John Boyega said in his
I think he's
criticisms of
fucking
Star
right.
Wars?
I think he's fucking right. I think that they had a good thing going with his character in the first movie, and then basically after that point, I think Ryan Johnson is fucking did a terrible job with this movie and didn't know what to do with like half his fucking characters and decided to just like get rid of Finn, and JJ couldn't fix it in the ninth movie, so Finn just became an afterthought, which fucking blows because I think his character was super fucking rad in The Force Awakens. I was probably the thing I liked the most from that movie was his character. And he basically became like a nothing by the end of the series. And there's so much they could have done with him, and it was just
Look,
all
man, we
squandered.
have been criticizing the sequel trilogy since Force Awakens. And their
True.
clear, directionless fucking wandering
Yes.
of pandering and minority baiting and agenda based writing.
Yeah.
Um, and it backfired. It
Yeah.
backfired. And when those movies came out, reviewers reviewed it truthfully and what it really should have been, and they were called fucking sexist, angry nerd boys
Yeah.
for criticizing the character of Rey, even though the character is shallow and boring.
Yeah.
And everyone knew that the character that should have been the fucking focus of the series
It was fucking Finn, dude.
was the former Stormtrooper clone, kidnapped character, whatever the fuck.
The character that we'd never seen before, a reformed stormtrooper.
Or a Stormtrooper who gave up being a Stormtrooper for the right reasons. Like, that's a better jump than a fucking whatever the fuck Rey was.
Whatever the fuck that character was.
But it's sad that we've been saying that every movie and every other critic online between IGN and Collider and Hollywood Reporter and Deadline
Yeah.
would have said that we were crazy and didn't know what we're talking about. But
Yeah.
now that John Boyega is coming out saying the same thing, what are they saying?
They're saying he's right.
Star Wars, yeah, they really mishandled his character. Eat dicks, dude.
Yeah.
Eat
Fuck you
dicks.
guys.
You know, because Star Wars fans have known, not Star Wars shills, but Star Wars fans have known that they mishandled that entire trilogy, and they gave, between Poe's mishandling, the completely pointless character.
Oh, what
of
a
Rey,
fucking piece of shit that character ended up being. Pointless.
Right. The complete terrible writing of Adam Driver's character.
Yeah.
Come on, the never having the original three on screen at the same time.
Yeah.
Before Carrie Fisher dies.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Could have done it in Force Awakens.
We're not going to have one scene of all three of them together. And it's not like fucking Harrison Ford would not want to see Mark Hamill or any.
Yeah.
It's
not like there's bad blood.
There's not bad blood there. If there is, it's not public.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's even said, like, why would you not have us three on screen for at least a fucking scene?
Yeah.
So no, I don't feel bad, I don't feel bad for John Boyega because we fucking have been saying this, and he would go on Twitter and be like, "You don't know what you're talking about when Last Jedi sucks." Like, so now that it's over, you want to fucking you got paid, and now you want to complain? Fuck you, dude. It's
now that he knows he's not going to be in the movies anymore because that series is done and nobody wants a continuation of that.
And I'm not saying that he's wrong. He's not wrong. He's completely right. But I'm saying that, like, fuck you.
Too little, too late.
Fuck you to the guy who was like before was like, you guys, you're complaining too much. Oh, now really?
Now all of a sudden we know what the fuck.
Now we know what we're talking about. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is right though. I do agree. They really were. He was pushed to the side, and it was a piss poor handling of a character that could have been very cool. Like they set it up so well for him to be. It made more sense. We've talked about this before 1,000 times. I don't want to bring it up again. But Rey never touched a lightsaber before, or a sword, or a saber.
No.
They never explained it. How come she's good with a lightsaber? Finn, combat training. He fought the stormtrooper with a lightsaber, and it wasn't a great fight, but because he's not a fucking lightsaberist.
Yeah.
But he had combat training. He's been in whatever. Even if he was a janitor at that fucking base, Starkiller base.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a new James Bond trailer
Ho! Praise be
Zach,
to
what do you
Jesus.
feel about it? How do you feel about it? What you like? What you didn't like? Are you excited for it? Where do you stand currently on No Time to Die?
I'm at the same hype level I was at before, dude. I love Daniel Craig's Bond. I'm excited to get more Daniel Craig Bond. I think this trailer looks super rad. It gave us a little bit more of an idea of kind of what was going on with the story, specifically with like whatever the fuck his name is,
Yeah,
Rami
yeah,
Malek.
yeah, yeah.
Um, his a little bit more of like his character and what's going on with that. It got a lot more into like the action set pieces, which I enjoyed because really in the first trailer you only got kind of the stuff with the car chase. There really wasn't much else beside this. This goes into like there's some sort of like weird base jumping plane shit that they've got going on. You see Q finally, thank God. I like him. I like the guy who plays Q in these series of movies. So you get that, you get stuff with Ralph Fiennes. It looks good, dude. I can't fucking wait. Can't fucking wait.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm excited for it. Um, I'm still interested how they're going to introduce this new Double O.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
still
I'm
honestly. I feel like it would just be better if they were. Well, I mean, they're not going to do that. Well, she's not a 007, is she? She's a different 00.
whatever her
I
code
think.
sign is, yeah, Double
Yeah.
O. So she's officially Double O.
Yeah.
My issue I mentioned last time we talked about No Time to Die was that
Hmm.
I think the James Bond comic book currently was really pushing for a new the female Double O to take
Hmm.
place of Bond.
Okay.
Um, I haven't read it. That's what I was seeing. And if
Hmm.
that's the case, I don't like it because I think Bond's a dude,
It's an
um,
inherently masculine
a
character. Yeah.
masculine character. Not that I wouldn't be fine with like if she wants to have her own movies, I'm fucking down with that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Just don't call it James Bond. Don't call it 007.
Yeah. Don't call her
Well,
007.
007, I guess I can be okay with 007.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That's a
just double O.
signifier.
The double O's. Yeah. It's just a call sign.
But
So.
like, don't I don't want to walk into No Time to Die under the auspice it's a James Bond movie and not get enough James Bond.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that Cary Fukunaga
Hmm.
is going to do that. I don't know. I assume not, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I don't know anymore with the way that people make movies.
I don't know. I mean,
Um,
this trailer seems very James Bond. So.
yeah, and she looks cool. Whatever the fuck her name is, she looks
Yeah.
cool. It looks like a good Bond movie. Hopefully that's
Hmm.
gonna be an action-packed Bond movie because it's gonna be one of the last ones we get with him.
Yeah. Which is sad,
I'm
but
kind of over this story arc though.
of what him being too old.
No, of it being like the Spectre and all this shit's all
Um.
like to me like they really weren't. Tell me if I'm off base on this, but they clearly didn't write all the movies to be interjoined,
No.
but they're
No,
trying.
they really kind of shoehorned it in with Spectre because
Yeah,
then they
they're
kind of Spectre was the one where it was like they introduced fucking the fuck, oh my god,
Christoph Waltz.
yeah, his character is basically the Blofeld, and then they
Yeah,
kind of like shoehorned that, and then they used his character to be like all the other movies are like connected, and I was like, you don't need to do this.
yeah, and like they're like
I mean, they kind of connected the first two because I mean, Quantum of Solace is a direct continuation of what happened in Casino Royale, but then you get to Skyfall, and that's just like its own
but they're
thing.
like trying to retroactively like
Yeah,
combine them like and you don't need to do that.
yeah. Well, they're trying to do the cinematic universe thing, which is just like you don't need to do that.
And if you're gonna do that, well, wait till Craig is done,
Yeah, wait till you get a new Bond, and you can actually
new
like
Bond,
plan it
and
out.
then plan
Yeah,
it out because
yeah.
that's what you should do with
If
that.
we learned anything from Star Wars and DC, it's that you have to plan it out.
You plan it out, or at least have a roadmap of what you want to hit.
Yeah,
And when your roadmap is one character, it
yeah.
really isn't that hard,
No.
you know, to do that. And we see Felix, which is cool because I think he's great as Felix.
Hmm.
What's his name? Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah,
I think he's a cool Felix.
yeah,
Um, his name's Felix, right?
yeah. Felix,
Yeah, yeah, Felix.
CIA
Um,
Felix.
yeah. So far, I'm excited to see it. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna rush to be the first one in the theater. Now, if it was Man from Uncle 2, I
Oh,
would
you're
be there.
pushing my buttons. You're
I'd be
pushing all
there.
the
I'd
right
be there
buttons
right
here.
away. I'd be there
Oh
right
my god.
away.
God damn it, dude. I want a second Man from U.N.C.L.E. so bad.
Because that movie is awesome.
That movie is such a good movie.
I'm almost ready for them to end Bond with Craig. I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready for a different character, different actor to play him. Younger.
Yeah, I mean, the main problem with Craig is that, like, he started off young, and then it just took so long to get the sequels that it got to the point where he was too old, which is unfortunate. Because I really think his first movie is, like, one of the best Bond movies I've ever seen. It's so fucking good. But then you had Quantum of Solace, and that kind of tanked, and people didn't like that, and then it just took forever to get Skyfall to where it got to the point where he's just too old, which is unfortunate.
Let's see, 2020.
Because I really like the energy that he brings to Bond. He brings that hyper violent side, super aggressive.
He was 38 in Casino Royale.
Okay, which is, I mean, that's fairly standard for a starting Bond. I feel like Pierce Brosnan was like older than that when he started. GoldenEye.
Is that his first one? Is GoldenEye?
GoldenEye was his first one.
Okay, let's see. That was 95. Let's go to Pierce Brosnan.
He's like 60 right now, isn't he?
He's 67.
Okay.
So let's do.
Oh, so maybe he was a little younger.
1995, 25. So 67 minus 25 is 40. He was 42.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he was older.
I think inherently, Bond is supposed to be a commander.
I mean,
Army ranks. I think he's supposed to be a commander, right?
I don't know
in the
because
Army,
I don't know how the Army
or the Navy.
I don't remember how the rankings
he was
work.
an SAS guy, so let me look.
Yeah.
Major, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel, Brigadier. No. Okay, Navy, Royal Navy ranks.
Okay.
I thought he was supposed to be Commander Bond. Was that supposed to be his rank?
Oh yeah, they do call him Commander Bond.
So Commander is right above Captain in the Royal Navy.
Okay.
So he would have had to do. So I mean, 38. I don't know enough about British military to know how long it takes to get there, but like, 38 is the equivalent.
I mean, it seems like a character where it's like mid-30s is where you want to start off.
Yeah, to have someone be experienced with that. But if you were going to go with someone like the next Bond, to have someone kind of be able to play the character longer,
you
get someone like, you would have to go like Taken route, where like Taken did a TV show.
Yeah.
Where obviously Liam Neeson's like old as shit, but you can go for a guy who's like, oh, I'm fresh SAS. I've been in the SAS for 5 years. I enlisted when I was 18 or after college or whatever. So I'm like 30, 32. So I'm in the prime of my career.
Yeah.
In the special forces, and then you can bring him over to MI6.
Yeah.
And have him be like, okay, now I'm like young, strapping Bond. I can do all the Jason Bourne, Mission Impossible, big set pieces, and I'm not worried about breaking Daniel Craig at 52.
Yeah.
You know, because even though he's in great shape for 52, who knows how his body is, and obviously, you want to have a guy be like, fucking take the shirt off, and he's like fucking yoked.
Yeah.
You know, also,
like I want first movie, dude. God damn, he's so fucking yoked in Casino.
Also, hold on, let me look real quick.
That shit where he's coming out of the ocean, I was like, God damn, I wish I had a body like that.
Let me see. Oh, no, we can't do him. He's too old now. Shit.
I mean, this is the conversation we always go back to, which is who could play James Bond next, and I just don't know. Honestly, after seeing Tenet, John David Washington could be a fucking Bond.
You're already wrong because he's American.
Oh, that's true.
You know that
I don't know that many British actors though.
You know that he has to be a British guy.
Yeah, he does have to be a Brit.
A British guy.
British action stars. Who we got?
You know that the James Bond estate was like, okay, how about Kit Harington?
Yeah, no, pass.
He's too old too. Shit. Okay.
God damn it! Wait, is Henry Cavill's not British? Is he?
Yes, he is. He's too old though.
Is he? How old is he now?
I think he's like 38, 37.
Oh yeah, he'd be like 40, 42 by the time he started. That sucks. He'd
Yeah.
be a good Bond.
Oh gosh, what is his fucking name? Oh, hold
Uh,
on, hold on. This is a good podcast.
Let me see.
Da, 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 da.
Honestly, if you want to do like the Street Kid route, you could do. Well, I mean, you kind of already have Kingsman for that, but you could fucking do like a John Boyega.
I think he would suck.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be a lot rougher. I mean, it definitely look. It would be more like Kingsman than James Bond.
Yeah,
So,
I think he would also just suck. He's not a good actor. He's just not a good enough actor to do it. Um,
let's see.
I don't know, man. It's rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know much about British action
I
stars.
bet they're gonna pick someone like Kit Harington or like Richard Madden, other Game of Thrones people,
I hope not. God
guys
damn.
who are kind of around like 30 something, 35.
Yeah, probably. I could see that being the case.
All right.
Eh, eh.
Moving on to some more news.
Oh,
Mandalorian
thank God, dude.
season
Thank
2
fucking God.
coming
Did you
out on.
finish season one?
No, I did not.
I I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be good. I liked season. Are they still doing? And here's the real question: Are they still doing that same shit where you have to do week by week? Or are they gonna do the whole season at once?
I don't
Because I
know.
haven't seen anything about that.
It says IGN article about it says Mandalorian second season will officially be released on Disney Plus on October 30th.
Okay.
New episodes start streaming October 30th, so I'm assuming it's going to be still be weekly.
Hmm.
I'm assuming.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I got why they did it at first because they didn't want everybody to like get Disney Plus for like a month or like a week, binge through The Mandalorian, and then get rid of it. But at this point, the people who got Disney Plus are keeping Disney Plus, and like the fact that you're gonna like, I don't know why you're doing this like week by week shit when you're on a streaming platform. Just give me the whole, just give me it all at once. I know it's done. Give it to me.
Yeah, and I didn't finish the first season yet. So I won't watch this until I finish the first season, and I just don't know if I.
What episode did you get to? You get to like
How
six.
many how many
Six.
episodes are there in the first
There's
season?
only 8.
Episode 4.
Damn. All right.
4 maybe. I haven't even seen Bill Burr yet.
Oh shit. Yeah. He's like episode 6.
I haven't
So
even seen Bill Burr yet. The last
he's
thing I
like
met,
he's like the last of the vignettes, and then 7 and 8 are like basically like the season finale.
the last thing I remember is like him like was the big Mando fight where they like helped him out or whatever.
Trying to remember.
Or like there was the big they all got together and fought at the.
Oh, the fucking the Magnificent Seven shit.
Yeah, that's the last
Whatever.
thing I remember where like
Yeah.
they like the heavy and they all get together and like they had the big shootout in the
Yeah.
town or whatever.
Trying to save the village from the
That's
Walker.
yeah, that's the last thing I remember. I don't know what episode.
Yeah,
it is.
that's like
It's
that's
4
like
or
episode
5.
4. Yeah, that's like episode.
I just don't.
Yeah, that's like the low part. Honestly, that episode was kind of boring. I mean, they introduced the Gianna Carlino, whatever the fuck her name is.
Gina, whatever. Yeah.
Gina Carlino, I think. Her character, which I mean, I like her character a lot in the show. But I mean, that episode was just like super.
I just
boring.
don't care enough, man. Here's my big problem with Mandalorian.
Tell me.
Not the
All right.
show, but the character of the Mandalorian and like
Okay.
the race of Mandalorians.
Okay.
Quick little personal side. My I have a new coworker at work, right? Fairly new, last 6 months.
Okay.
Younger guy, he's about like 23, 22.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
And he got a bunch of tattoos, a white kid. And he went, first thing he did, say, I want to get a Star Wars sleeve. I was like, okay, first off, you liked Mandalorian. So now
Yeah.
you want a Star Wars sleeve, which is fine.
Yeah.
Obviously. So he went and got, the Mythosaur skull or whatever. The logo, like the Mandalorian skull logo,
yeah.
Mythosaur. I always thought it was a bantha skull, but apparently it's not. I always thought it was a bantha skull.
I couldn't remember.
But Mythosaur is what it's called, I guess.
Okay.
He got that tattoo on him and all this stuff, And people love that shit. People love Mandalorians because of armor or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're some of the most like they're cool characters in the Star Wars universe. Why would you not just get Jedi? Jedi's are the best. Like, what the fuck are we doing talking about fucking Mandalorians? Like, Jedi's are the best, and the fact that Disney has given us no fucking Jedi shit
Yeah.
is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I would agree with
It's
that.
the heart and soul of the whole universe that George Lucas created. Why the hell do we not have more Jedi shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's at the same point, I like expanding the universe more, but the fact that we don't have anything at all is kind of stupid.
Since Disney has bought Star Wars,
All we've had is the
we've had
sequel trilogy. That's
the
it.
sequel trilogy with no Jedis.
Yeah.
We've had a couple books with no Jedis.
You've had
We've had a game with
a Jedi.
with a quasi Jedi.
He becomes a Jedi. I assume. I basically assume that he becomes a Jedi at the end of the game. He goes through his whole arc.
No master.
That's true. No master.
Jedi. You have Kanan. It's literally the same character as the guy from the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same fucking story. It's the same story. Yeah. They're a Padawan during Order 66. They run away. They hide their powers until one day they have to use them.
Is that Rebels?
That's Rebels. Same fucking character.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, if you're going to do stuff after, after the original trilogy, and you're trying to move things forward, and you're not like jumping like 1,000 years in the future, then that's like, it's basically the only story you can tell.
So if we're not going to have Jedi's, excuse me, post return, you got to give us what they're doing with the High Republic stuff.
Yeah.
Jedi's
even though
there.
the book's gonna suck.
Even though the books are gonna suck.
Yeah.
Jedi's there. Instead of focusing on other things that are expanding the universe that you think, but in my mind, it's actually making the universe too small because you're not giving us the center point of the universe, which is Jedi.
Okay.
The center point is going to be good and evil, which is going to be Jedi and Sith.
Okay.
And you're giving us none of that at all, but focusing on the auxiliary storylines, which are cool, but if we don't have the centerpiece to make other things relevant, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from there, because, I mean, if you look at, the Marvel Universe and stuff like that, and the spin-offs with, like, the Defenders and stuff like that, you still have the through line of, like, the Avengers movies that are, like, carrying the timeline forward. So I get where you're coming from with that point. You have to have something to advance.
I like Daredevil.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Daredevil is his own thing.
Yeah.
So even that comparison's kind of rough because people like Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it was a Boba Fett show, I mean, that's different. It's an established character in the canon of Star Wars universe, right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck happened to Boba Fett? Did he really survive after? Okay, let's see what fucking happened.
Well, I thought they were just going with this shit that he fucking died.
Right, But, like, when you don't have, to me, again, as a Star Wars fan, or as a rehabilitated Star Wars fan, not to have the important part of literally the direct cause of what the Mandalorian is going through is because of Jedi. And to have no focus on any Jedi in post Return of the Jedi, to me, is ridiculous. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. It also doesn't make sense because, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I think we've talked about this before, but it's like Mandalorians are like Jedi hunters. So
in the old EU. I don't know where they're at. I don't know in the new universe.
Yeah.
I didn't finish Rebels because the Mandalorian character sucked. Obviously, I haven't finished The Mandalorian, so I don't know if they talk about Mandalore. And I didn't finish Clone Wars, so I don't know what they're considered canon. But in the old EU, yeah, they were the Jedi's number one killer besides the Sith, because Sith were all on Jedi. But no, the number one killer of fucking Force wielder lightsaber people, like, were Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But to not have, and I think my big problem is now in canon you have no Jedis and you have no Mandalorians. Like, they're both hiding, they're both low, and Mandalorians are clearly doing better than Jedi because there's only one Jedi in Mandalorian, and who is that? Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
You
Luke
know,
Skywalker.
until Ben comes alive, and then even then, like,
Well, and then in the Mandalorian, well, I can't remember now. I have to watch her show again. I can't remember if that's true or not. Oh well.
because timeline wise, Mandalorian is right after Return, right?
I think it's a couple years after, but yeah,
So
it's
then,
like
yeah, so
it's fairly soon
it's
after
just
Return.
Luke.
Yeah.
And clearly, with what they established in the sequel trilogy, Luke is not going and reestablishing the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
He's finding a couple kids, maybe here and there, and taking them to a fucking campsite,
Yeah.
and maybe doing something. But that's like years later. So,
Or his nephew will then kill everybody.
yeah, you know. So Mandalorian season 2 coming out.
Yeah.
People are excited for that to get more tattoos.
Yeah.
Zach, did you watch this trailer for Call of Duty Cold War?
Fuck yeah, dude. I fucking watched this trailer.
How'd
This
you feel?
trailer's fucking badass. I liked it a lot.
Talk to me about it, man. How do you feel?
I mean, it's weird because I like what they're going for, specifically with the Cold War stuff. I mean, they're going into the Black Ops. They're digging into that Black Ops piggy bank where it's like they're talking about espionage. They're talking about, covert operations. They're talking about, specifically this one's talking about the Cold War. You see stuff from Vietnam and stuff like that. You got Ronald Reagan popping his head up talking about how we're going to have this secret world, take out the damn commies. It's fucking good, dude. I like it. But then at the same time, it's like Call of Duty is not an espionage game, so I don't know how much
Not yet.
it's gonna dig in. Because I mean, if it had the reputation of being like a Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell or something like that, and you're doing like Cold War secret missions, then I'm fine with that. But from what I know about Call of Duty, because even Black Ops tried to like dig into this in the beginning, but then you're doing like in the Black Ops, you're doing like the Bay of Pigs invasion, but then you're like fucking destroying all of Cuba, which makes no fucking sense.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be espionage in the sense of, like, in the sense of James Bond's espionage,
Yeah,
where it's really not at all.
I could see that. Yeah.
Where it's really not at all, because like, it's not going to be.
I mean, honestly, for this story, the big set points for me that's going to make or break this game, it's going to be those Vietnam sequences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, how many times am I going to hear "Fortunate Son"?
Oh, all the time. All
Was
the
it not?
CCR,
Was it?
baby.
Was it?
All
Was
the
it?
CCR.
Was it not already in the trailer? What song did they use in the
I
trailer?
don't think it was in the trailer. I don't know. It was. If it wasn't that, it was probably a Jimi Hendrix song.
Jimi Hendrix song, "All on the Watchtower."
All on Watchtower, yeah.
I think that I love this trailer, man. I thought this trailer was so cool.
Trailer looks so fucking good,
and
man.
the fact that people in the media were getting so butthurt over it.
Oh my god, that shit was the best. Fuck those people.
It's history.
Yeah.
It is real life.
No, Jason, don't you understand? It's propaganda.
From a fucking video game company?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, bro? You think Ubisoft or whoever the fuck what Activision's gonna be like?
I think it's Activision doing this.
Yeah,
one.
let's put in some far right wing or Reaganism. Like, dude, it's history.
Yeah.
It's a backdrop for a storyline for a war game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now. Reagan being there, awesome.
People have always hated Call of Duty games, though, because they always think they're too far right. Because they talk about that shit. Because remember, Modern Warfare had that same shit where they talked about how it was, what was it, insensitive to use the white phosphorus as like a kill streak?
Dude, most of the games, you barely even play as an American, though.
Yeah.
Like even the last one.
Yeah, the last one, it was all about the SAS.
You play as the American spy guy, but then you play as the British Army most of the time.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So this is the first. Okay, cool. It's called Black Ops. First off, so it's supposed to be about sealed black bag stuff, and then it's Cold War. Okay, cool shit. All right, Vietnam, awesome. Okay, I mentioned this last time. I think we talked about Black Ops or about Cold War. Is that in history inherently has a very dirty American special ops team in Vietnam called the Tiger Force. That's cool. That's a cool storyline to follow, right? Because it's history, and this trailer looks cool, and that Robert Redford looking motherfucker.
I know, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, this bitch looks just like fucking Robert Redford.
He's gonna wear a fucking pink suit, Great Gatsby motherfucker.
He looks like the guy. I mean, that Robert Redford thing. It immediately made me think of what's this spy movie that he's in?
Spies Like Us.
No, not Spies Like Us. Fuck. He's been
the
in
one with Brad Pitt.
He's been in so many. It was like, is it 3 Days to Condor? It's not that one, right? Maybe it is. I can't remember.
So, how the Vietnam sequences? We're gonna get Fortunate Son. We're gonna get what else?
All Along the Watchtower, obviously.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix song. We're gonna get Times Are Changing by Bob Dylan.
Yes.
And then how cool would it be if there's a scene where they're leaving Nam, like they're walking back to the Huey or where the fuck the helicopter is.
Yeah.
And the camera cuts, and you see a guy in a suit in Vietnam walking back to the helicopter. And you see the camera comes down to a briefcase, and you see the M of Monarch.
Damn. All right.
Next thing you know, Call of Duty Kaiju Attack, and it's gonna be a fucking crossover game where you get to fight Gojira.
Dude, if I swear to God, if I can play a game where it's fucking Vietnam and I'm able to fucking ride on Godzilla's back and fucking take down some Viet Cong, I'm there for it.
Speaking of Godzilla, real quick, I was watching a review as we wrap the podcast up. Okay. I was watching a review of from a guy on YouTube named Brandon's Cult Movie Reviews, or Brendan. Okay. He's a guy I watch all the time. Him and like Shadow Decker are two guys I watch a lot. They're really great YouTubers who do cool, underappreciated cult films, horror films, sci-fi nerd stuff. And I was watching a video from him yesterday where he reviewed Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. Ooh. Now I'm open. I don't have Godzilla knowledge. Mm-hmm. I know. Here's what I know about Godzilla.
Tell me.
Lizard guy.
Yeah.
Fire breath, laser breath, or whatever.
Laser breath is fine.
Matthew Broderick, don't like him.
Yeah, no. That movie does not exist. Don't talk about that movie.
There's a movie where he laid eggs in one of them.
Don't talk about that movie. That movie doesn't exist.
And then he's going to fight King Kong at some point. That's all I know.
He will fight King Kong.
There's a cartoon when I was a kid, and there's a cool cartoon. That's all I know about Godzilla.
That cartoon was dope.
So, I'm watching this review, and he's talking about the story of the movie. And there's a part where he's, in the beginning of the review, where he says, okay, Space Godzilla is a clone of Godzilla because something happened about DNA and the atmosphere when he went to space to fight something else. And I was like, okay, first off, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Space Godzilla is a Godzilla with like diamonds on him or some shit. I was like, okay, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. But then he says, okay, and then the spirit fairy of Mothra are two girls and they're talking to the guy. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this movie series where there are fairies?
Yeah. Mothra is the legend of Mothra is like it's a guardian. It's like King Kong, where it's like the guardian spirit of Japan, and it's channeled through these two like shrine maidens.
What the fuck is Godzilla then?
Godzilla is the manifestation of nuclear war, obviously, and then he becomes the savior of Japan later on. So that's the whole thing.
Okay, so
they really kind of get away from that in the later Godzilla movies, that he's like the manifestation of nuclear war.
But like the idea of like spirits and shit, like ghosts and fairies and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the same movie where like the whole plot of one movie is that there's like a giant fucking robot that looks exactly like Godzilla for no other reason than like because we're gonna call him like a Godzilla.
That's like a man-made thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Humanity trying to survive by making a mecha.
Well, King Ghidorah is an alien that came from another planet.
I'm almost fine with that too.
Almost.
I just can't get over the fact that there's like spirit ghost fairy things.
You can get over the fact that there's an alien dragon, three-headed dragon. Yes, you can't get over the fairy spirits that
they cannot be in the same movie universe.
What? But I mean, they already are.
They can't.
They weren't really, because they didn't bring up that shit with Mothra. They kind of
they can't be in the same universe.
They kind of glazed over that in King of the Monsters, but
this week.
But it's there.
This week, I'm going to watch um, the '90s trilogy Gamera movies.
Okay.
Is my plan this week to watch all three of them this week.
Giant Turtle Boy.
Because in the same review, the guy I was talking about was like, "Yeah, these movies are really great. They're really awesome. They're really well made." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm gonna check out the three 90, like 91, 93, 90, whatever. This trilogy was supposed to be like a reboot of Gamera.
Yeah.
Again, since I have no knowledge of who the fuck Gamera is, it's all new to me. But the moment I saw Space Fairy Girls, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch Godzilla ever. Because that sounded stupid. But I mean, people like Godzilla. I mean, you like Godzilla.
I do. I love Godzilla.
You
I'm
like
a big Godzilla fan.
There's a list from Collider
Yes.
that's gonna be the upcoming live action Disney slate.
I actually hadn't looked at this list yet.
Movies. I'll go ahead and read them off. Obviously, Mulan came out yesterday.
True.
Cruella, which is going to be starring Emma Stone. Lilo and Stitch is the next one, or is one of them. Little Mermaid, Pinocchio.
Yeah. Is that so? The thing I have about this, this is not the same Pinocchio that Guillermo del Toro is doing. Because he's also doing his own Pinocchio movie.
I guess so. Peter Pan and Wendy, Snow White, Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I guess I just forget how many Disney movies there actually are that they haven't done yet.
Prince Charming, Robin Hood, Lilo and Stitch.
The Prince Charming one is stupid because you already had Cinderella, so why the fuck
Bambi,
this movie?
Oliver Twist, James the Giant Peach.
Also, I don't need another Robin Hood movie, so like, what the fuck is up with that?
Sword in the Stone. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Yeah, Robin Hood. What are you gonna do?
Unless you're just gonna do like mocapped Fox people again. Like, I don't understand what the fucking point of this is because we've had so many Robin Hood movies.
What?
Hercules is cool, but like also we've had so many Hercules movies. Unless you get Danny DeVito back, that's the only thing that's gonna bring me back to the theater. If you got Danny DeVito.
Hercules, if it's not gonna be a musical, I don't give a shit.
I like Oliver and Company, so I'm down for that. But I also don't know what the fuck you're gonna do.
Well, it's not even Oliver Company. It's Oliver
Twist.
Yeah, I
know. Well, they showed the Oliver. They showed Oliver because that's basically Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver Twist.
You're
not gonna do Cats again.
Who the fuck are you gonna cast to be the Hunchback?
How the fuck are you gonna do James and the Giant Peach?
Who's gonna be Peter Pan?
James and the Giant Peach was already a live action movie. It just had 2D stuff in it. Or had claymation in it, not 2D stuff.
I thought the whole thing was claymation.
No, it starts off in the James is a real person. It starts off in the live action world, like it's real characters. And then when he goes into the Peach, then it turns into claymation.
Gotcha. Lilo and Stitch is gonna look like shit.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna do that. That's gonna be fucking stupid.
Live action.
Sword in the Stone. We already had a King Arthur movie that fucking bombed because nobody cares about King Arthur anymore, which blows because I like King Arthur. But
we had like two recently. We had the fucking kid one, and we had the
you had and then you had the kid. What the fuck is his name?
In the anime one.
The
Guy Ritchie.
The Sons of Anarchy guy.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam. That's what his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody cares about those because both those movies I feel like didn't do that well.
Yeah, the Charlie Hunnam one didn't do well at all.
No, that one was awful, which sucks. I love Guy Ritchie, but yeah, that movie was hot garbage.
Yeah, it really was.
You've got two Peter Pan movies in here. You've got Tinkerbell, and then you've got Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Who cares?
Well, that's the same thing where it's like, why the fuck do I don't need a Prince Charming movie. You already did fucking the Cinderella movie. Why the fuck do I need Prince Charming?
Who played him? Was he in the movie?
Yeah, you can't do the Cinderella movie without Prince Charming.
Who was he?
I can't remember. I haven't watched it, but
okay.
But I know he was in it. Hold on. Cinderella 2015. Let's see. It was Oh, it was Winter Soldier.
Oh, Sebastian Stan. Okay.
Oh wait, no. Oh, he just looks like Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Richard Madden.
Oh, the guy from fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh, he was.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah. He played.
oh he's Bodyguard. That's how I.
Yeah,
recognize
yeah,
his
yeah.
face.
Okay.
Bodyguard, Rocket Man. Yeah.
All right. Well, Zach, I think
John.
we'll call it there
Yeah.
for
I
this
think this is a
week
good place to wrap up.
on the podcast. We have a lot. We have 2 hours coming in now. So,
Yeah.
guys, thanks for listening. Thank you
Yes.
for watching. We'll see you back next week with more License to View.
See you guys.
Hopefully, my office will actually be done.
It's looking pretty good so far. I see the
Yeah,
almanac. I
yeah.
see the DeLorean. I'm seeing some good stuff up there.
It's almost boxes all behind me. You just can't see it.
Well, if you just focus on the left-hand side of the screen, it's fine.
Exactly. All right, guys. We'll see you.